Hi guys! In this video, I share my very first sculpting and sanding experiences with my Blythe. She's already disassembled, and I will change her eye chips in another video along with her lashes too. If you can't tell already, she still has yet to be sanded, and as this is my first time doing this, I'm going to be quite conservative and gradually proceed throughout this step of the customizing journey. Due to that fact, this video is quite lengthy, so I've sped it up and will describe my actions and supplies used throughout. So this is my craft knife. It's kind of like an X-Acto knife set, and I also have a scoring tool and my pencil for mapping it out. Again, thanks guys for your patience with this newcomer. Let's dive in. So here, first, I'm going to start where I want the top of the lip line to begin. I map out exactly how I want the mouth shape to go, and I also mark parts where I do want to emphasize definition. So like the tip of the nose, the side of the nostrils. And here I've sketched a bunch of different lip shapes, and I try to incorporate my favorite ones. And I also want to just draw some baselines for the eyebrows so I can kind of get an idea of how it'll look in the end. And here is the first step. I was really nervous and hesitant. This is something I have no experience in. I'm a complete novice to this. So I went with the smallest tool that I had, which was the scoring tool. Here I'm making little marks on the side of the nostril, and I'm testing out the flat edge of the X-Acto knife, the craft knife cutter. I'm just trying to keep with the shape that I'm wanting. With this being my first time, I didn't feel like I wanted to dive into the full pouty lip look that is so cute, but I wanted to give myself an attainable goal. So I went with a smaller mouth and something more closer to the original factory's mouth style, so I can get an idea of what the material is like to carve into, and that's this particular face plate, because I have heard different face plates have different textures. Some are transparent. Mine I don't think is. I know that it is a hard plastic. It's not the same material as the body, but I can only see through it if I lift it up and I put it into the light, which I do periodically to make sure I'm not carving it away too thin and risk puncturing through all the way, which is not what I want to do with this doll just yet. So here I am lightly sanding. I have the 3M 1000 grit. This one is for blending. It removes dust, nibs, and paint runs in color base coat. And here I'm folding it to make sure I can fit into the little nooks and crannies. And this particular grit leaves her very, very smooth. So here I have changed the X-Acto knife tip to a more angled point, and I saw in one of the videos to carve upward from the bottom lip going up into the top lip. That'll give it more definition and a more poutier bottom lip. And I wanted her chin to remain at a type of point, so I do tend to sand around the sides of the chin to keep her jawline at that angle. So now I have all the factory paint removed, and I go ahead and match the back plate to match the front by removing all the shine that's there. It was a little difficult to get into the ear crevices, so I used the scoring tool. It had a flat angled edge, and I wrapped a piece of the sandpaper around it, and I was able to get in there a little bit more easier. I got rid of the shine from the inner ear, which I learned this step probably didn't need to do because with the Mr. Clear spray, it actually makes it matte anyway. And I make the eyelashes match as well. I mean the eyelids match. I heard it was easy to pull these out, so I tried using my tweezers and it ripped it. And then I realized it was just so easy to pull it. And so you don't have to soak this one. This seemed pretty easy to come out. A couple hairs did get stuck in there, and I knew I didn't want to separate that little opening too much. So I used the scoring tool and was able to get it out. Here I'm using a washable, disinfectable nail file. It's by White Lightning. It's a coarse 100 grit on one side and a medium 180 grit on the other side. It's sold by Tropical Shine. I got it from my local beauty store. And that is an acrylic sanding block, and it's called the Polar Block number 203006. I also got that from the beauty store. And to finish it, I go over it with the 1000 grit again. Now I suggest when you decide to sculpt your Blythe, go over a bunch of pictures, get the profile view, face up view, and even an angle from down. And here's where I put it in the light and I angle it a lot of different ways to see if anything's catching my eye, getting the attention of not being even or the way I want it. And I think I'm pretty satisfied for the most part. And here's her now and before. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.